We're on, huh?
We are on. Yes, we are. A little bit off. I don't know. Been a hell of a day, I guess.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so, well, let's get right into it. Want to thank everybody who's tuning in. I see Doug. He's my chat seems to be working tonight, so that's good.
Good,
Hey,
good.
DJ, good to see you. Down in the Black Hills area. He says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and same to everybody else. Hope everybody had a great and blessed Christmas. I know that we were pretty busy around here. One shot cap. Good evening, Patriots. Good evening to you. So yeah, hey Gene, the mayor of Mulbridge is tuning in. Good to see you here, Gene.
Yes,
So,
sir.
well, let's go ahead and knock this out right here. And being it's your last show, Jamie, I'm gonna have you read it.
Yeah, you bet, Clayton. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Amen. Amen to that. Absolutely. And I don't know if you caught any of the news over the weekend. It looks like it's getting more and more important, but we knew that every day.
Yeah,
So I'm going to start out with a
absolutely.
quick announcement, though. If you saw that right away here, I just found out about this today. Of course, there was a statement put out by Glock. Gaston Glock, of course, is the founder. 1980, I believe it was, when Glock come around. But here's what the company put out as a statement: it says, "We report the deep sadness that our founder, Mr. Gaston Glock, passed away peacefully on December 27th, 2023, at the age of 94. Wow,
Man,
hope I have my faculties and can live that long.
yeah, it looks in pretty good shape there yet.
Gaston Glock built his iconic brand with visionary foresight and on the principles of Glock's perfection. He charted the strategic direction of Glock Group throughout his life and prepared it for its future. His life's work will continue in his spirit. We do thank all of you for respecting our privacy and for your understanding that we will be unable to further comment or answer any inquiries right now that you may have." And yeah, so I didn't know the guy. I think we're all familiar with Glock, though. I mean,
Yeah,
a pretty
even if you
iconic
don't own one,
firearm.
I don't. But yeah, I'm certainly have shot them, and I enjoy Glock firearms. But
I've had a few. You've shot some of mine, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
10 millimeter.
a nice gun. A little bit bulky for my liking, but it's iconic, and I don't think anybody can dispute how iconic that firearm is.
No, no, for sure. And I guess hey, if you can make it to 94, that's a pretty damn good run.
Yeah, 94 years old. Yeah, here we go. This was his story. There he is there. It says, following the guiding principle, our founder, Gaston Glock, not only revolutionized the world of small arms in the 1980s, but also succeeded in establishing the Glock brand as a global leader in the handgun industry. His
Yep.
international renowned Glock perfection stands for uncompromising quality and maximum customer satisfaction. He charted the strategic direction of the Glock Group throughout his life and prepared it for its future. So, I mean, like I said, I just wanted to mention that because it came out today. I'm sure Glock will continue. As we all know, what Austria was not an American company, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We got a lot of guns here that
He
weren't
kind of
taxed.
ushered in the polymer pistol
He
age.
did. I can remember. Oh my goodness, it was going to be just havoc.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to die. They're going to get them through the airport. They're going to plastic guns. That's all you heard in the news
Yeah.
back in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
I'm
the
sitting there going,
ceramic barrels that couldn't be detected by the.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it's man, yeah, it's sad to hear, but like I said, the guy made it into his 90s, which most of
he
us
did.
will not. So that's guy lived a
Yeah.
great life, and he made his mark on planet Earth.
Oh, absolutely. And like I was saying earlier here, guys, this will be Jamie's last live stream, at least as a full
Yep.
time co-host.
Yep.
So just everybody, I want to thank Jamie for everything he's done here.
Oh, if you think I did good, if you think I suck, say good riddance, you suck. But
No, I tell you what,
uh
this was a vision we had, over a year and a half ago, and we did a lot of thinking on, a lot of talking on it. I think you and I have always had that great rapport between each other,
oh yeah, for sure.
having a lot of fun. It's
No
been a
doubt.
lot of fun. I did pull up a picture, and I got to show
It's
everybody
always
this
fun.
picture. This was a picture I took off of our first pilot. And do you remember that? We were messing around. We weren't even planning to go live. We're like, well, we got to try this out. Boom, we hit live because this was all new to
Yeah.
me. And all of a sudden, we had a bunch of viewers on there. It's like, oh, I guess it's our
Yeah.
first episode. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And end of August, I do believe, right?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, didn't we talk? I think it was for about an hour, and we're like, wow, that went fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Yeah, it was an hour and 1 minute right there.
Yeah, I'm in my dining room right there. I'm in the kitchen, lights in the back, and
I was in my basement. It was full of junk behind me because I didn't
yeah,
have
that's right.
my
You
blur.
guys straightened up pretty nice now.
I mean, it looks pretty amateurish, but I tell you what, that was our very first live, and yeah, it's been quite a
Yeah.
ride, my friend. Been quite a ride.
Yeah, agreed, Clay. It's great, and I don't have a doubt you're going to keep it going here, and I'll be in full support,
Oh, we
listening,
appreciate
and
it, and
still proud to
we're gonna
be a founding father of
founding
Guns and the
father.
701.
Yeah. I just like I said, I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna miss you having you on here every Wednesday. It was just kind of
Well,
fun. I
like I
always look
said,
forward to it. It was a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot of work. You know that as
yeah.
well as we do. But we will continue. And hopefully you'll come back on as a guest
Oh,
once in a while.
absolutely. And
Who knows? Maybe something just will happen, and I'm pulling my hair out, and you got to just fill in for me once.
yeah, hey, I'll be more than happy to fill in for you.
So,
There's no doubt about.
all right. Well, we got
Yeah.
a lot
Thank you,
of
Clay.
things are coming in here. So let's go up here, back up to the comments before we get rolling into this.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of it's not going to be as structured as it usually is.
No,
Jamie was
I told
stuck
Clay
in
get
Minnesota.
a couple,
Yep.
and I'll get a couple. And I got in late from Minnesota today, so I didn't have much of a chance to memorize much of this stuff. So it's
And guys, and I think I'll do this right now. I'm going to put my cell number up here, and I'll tell you why. Because I've done this before, and we were able to make it work. I believe I got it right up there. Yeah. All right, there's my cell. If you want to call in and tell us what you thought and wish Jamie well, you may do that. And I've put this up to my mic, and I've had it work. So you can make a comment, call in if you'd like, and we will put you on air. We're not set up for it, but we'll make it work, right?
yeah. Well, I seen Josie Milbrown. He was our first caller. Actually, I do remember that.
Yes,
Josie.
he was. I remember when Josie called. He was our very, very first caller, and we made it kind of work
right there. Yep, Brandon Fitter, great show, guys. Listen every week. Appreciate that, Brandon.
Matthew Simon. Thank God they never released one in fully semi.
Yeah.
Talking about the Glock, absolutely. Yeah. Again, thanks to DJ for listening down there. Gene, Corey Merriman, he chimed in. He must have got done hauling concrete. He was hauling concrete today. And by the way, guys, I've asked Corey to come in here and help fill in. If that happens, though, he's probably going to come in here and be in studio with me. And I think I'm going to have a second camera I can hook up now.
That worked out good when you had Vance in there that time. So.
It did. Well, I want to be able to have the headphones and everything so he can talk and hear us and things like that. And I have a headset that has a mic, so that's going to work out pretty good. Nice. Hey, Trampus, good to have you on tonight. Hope you had a great Christmas. Brandon Fitter says he listens every week. Brandon, I hope you continue. By the way, Lauer Auto is for sure staying on as a sponsor. We're going to see where that goes. But I know that when I talked to Axe, he said he's definitely going to stay on for sure in that first quarter. So hopefully let's have him be a worthy sponsor and stay with us. We've enjoyed having him the whole time, and they do fantastic work.
Absolutely.
Gene says, I think Glock started a whole porcelain, not metal gun.
Yeah.
To kill us all. Yep, that's what we were talking about. And you're absolutely right. It did. Again, Josie said he was our first caller. He's got his big, muscle and got his flags on there. Of course, you can't see if you're listening to the podcast tonight.
Right.
Scott Odegaard, good evening. Happy New Year 2024. Is the fork in the road for the United States? It is. May God be with us all.
And one of the reasons I'm tired right now, Clay, is because of Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, he's my stepdad. We were up, we were celebrating Christmas, and we were having a great time. Everybody was asleep, and him and I, we kind of forced ourselves to go to sleep. He said there's not enough alcohol in this place to make us tired, so we had to make ourselves go to bed last night. We were having a good time.
Good.
Actually, I went into Cuyuna after we took my cousin to the airport, and he flew back to Texas. And I'm not into microbrews too much usually, but we went in there, man. They had one. I think it was called Area 51, and that was definitely the best micro
Pretty
brew.
good, huh?
Because the gal, my uncle said, yeah, he likes Coors Light. And she's like, oh, my dad's a Coors Light. She's like, you'll love this. And I thought, yeah, right. And I drank it. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I think I ended up having 3 pints. So it was.
Well, gee, well, they must have been good, right?
Yeah. They
Like,
were
hey,
going down.
this one wasn't very good. I better try another. I know when you sent me that mess or that picture, you were sitting in front of the fireplace. Looked like you had a good cold one.
And I got a lot of hot tubbing time in too. I know I did a live there on Christmas Eve, and I had a few in me there, so it was a little short one on my Facebook page. But
you got to be careful with that. Luckily, that one I did not go out at 2 a.d.
Yeah, if anybody missed Clay's trying to go live on.
I'm glad I didn't get it figured out, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, that says her comments aren't. She said we looked younger. Yeah, I agree with you, Lynette. I did feel like we looked younger there. Hey, Corey, thank you for being on the show and for listening all the time. Appreciate you. Evening, Waylon. Hey, Vance. Always enjoyed your commentary, Jamie. Thank you, Vance. I appreciate that.
Yep, thanks, Vance.
Lynette says she got your number. Now you're in trouble.
Oh, well, call away. I promise my wife won't get nervous. She is so used to me doing so many things that when she sees a lady call, it doesn't bother. So
all right. So I told Clay we're just gonna kind of free ball it here. I said just you get 2 and I'll get 2, and Clay's gonna you're doing a Patriot Company?
I'm going to do a Patriot Company tonight. I thought we'd end the year on a positive note. We got all year long to attack the commies after this.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of commies to attack. But yeah, and then I'm going to do the happy ending, and then I'm still going to be on the last show there Friday. We're not actually going to even have Todd on there. We're going to be on with Iron Mike. So,
oh really?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Todd's not going to be back yet. So, anyway. I'll go first, Clay, because I read this story. I think it was Christmas night actually, and I thought, this is right up Clay's alley here. But I'm gonna go with this story. It was from Pennsylvania Post Gazette, and if you've been paying any attention to Pennsylvania politics at all, I mean they're going leftist, and they're appointing these leftist judges and. So this article is entitled, "How much power does the government claim on private land?" And they said, unfettered, according to a Commonwealth decision in a case pitting the Pennsylvania Game and Fish against 2 private gun clubs. On September 29th, a court in Pennsylvania ruled against 2 hunting clubs in their lawsuit accusing the it says Game Commission. I'm going to call them the Game and Fish.
Okay.
Of private property rights violations. The Institute for Justice represents both gun clubs, and they will appeal. But Clay, this is really gonna fry your ass because it did me too. But in its ruling, the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania noted the government's absolute power to roam private land without consent, warrants, or probable cause. We got Josh Wyndham. He's the attorney for these 2 gun clubs. Said private land isn't public property. That might seem obvious, which it does seem obvious to most people, right? Like you and me and everybody else pretty much who's listening to the show. But all too many officials at every level of government disagree. They think they have a blank check to invade private property. We'll see what the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has to say about that. I'm not holding my breath on that either because the Pennsylvanians just elected another massive leftist to their state Supreme Court.
They did.
I don't think that's going to turn out. So this started out on December 16th, 2021. Pitch Pine and Punxsutawney hunting clubs sued the Game and Fish. It says Game. I guess I'm going to say Game and Fish. After game wardens consistently entered club lands without permission or warrant and secretly monitored club members, including photo collection by installation of hidden game cameras on private property. The warden's behavior, the lawsuit asserted, was a direct violation of Pennsylvania's strict state constitution, which explicitly protects persons, houses, papers, and possessions. Most Americans assume law enforcement must obtain a warrant to enter or surveil private land, but for roughly a century, and this is what I want Clay's input on for sure, the open fields doctrine has allowed government officials at state and federal levels unqualified access to private land. Right, Clay? We tried to get rid of that in our state legislature, and how bad did that get beaten down? I think that was
Pretty
Luke
bad.
Simon's thing, right?
It was Luke. I know. Well, actually, Rick has done it as well. So has Luke. Any patriot you can name in the state legislature in North Dakota has been on board with eliminating open fields doctrine. Finally, it took us decades in South Dakota to get rid of it. I'm talking decades.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got it done when Kristi Noem come back in. She promised to do it, and she did. It wasn't a law down in South Dakota.
Daryl said she doesn't believe in private property rights.
Yeah, well,
that's right, Daryl.
Anyways,
go on.
When it comes to open fields, yeah.
So why do they call it open fields doctrine? What? That's a weird name to me.
Well, like everything that's communist, you got to name it so it's not exactly scary, right?
Yeah, which should be called up your ass doctrine is what it should
Basically,
be.
It should be called, violation of your constitutional private property rights act or something like that. But what it means is that it gives permission, especially to game wardens, wildlife revenuers, to basically enter your private property. In South Dakota, it did. Now this is different in North Dakota. To just enter your private property to enforce the game laws, and that they had that authority, and they were given it. They were granted it by the state. So the state give a doctrine by fiat, by regulation, to eliminate the Constitution, which it was always unconstitutional. Just nobody really was able to take it to court. They just didn't have the money. Think about it. Government's got all our money. So a lot of people don't have they just don't have the money to fight it.
Most people, the government's got an endless supply of our money.
And finally, when Kristi Noem took office, she eliminated it. It ended open fields doctrine in South Dakota. Now, North Dakota is a bit different. I believe it's your homestead, and I forget how many feet it is. If someone wants to chime in,
feet or yards within, right? Or maybe I think it's 400
of your
feet.
dwelling.
400 yards is the shooting. I'm thinking of. You can't shoot within.
Yeah, and so open fields are this is like warrantless searches, just like it was in South Dakota. For anything, it can be sheriff's department, it can be highway patrol, it can be any law enforcement official can come onto your property and search for anything in North Dakota. And that's written in the century code. And we got a problem. That's a bunch of BS. That's as bad as far as I'm concerned is a civil forfeiture of your property. So we got a lot of work to do on that in North Dakota. To me, that's hand in hand with the Second Amendment. It's probably just as big of a violation on your private property. And this must be something that all these state wildlife agencies are doing. We've covered this on Todd's show as well as here, where you've got Virginia was doing the same thing. They're putting up game cameras on private property and saying, "Oh, we got to monitor this." You don't have to monitor nothing on my land. Get the hell off it. What the heck?
Yeah. So there's a little bit of this left here, Clayton. In its judgment, September 29th, the Commonwealth Court detailed the alarming powers and unfettered discretion assumed by governments via open fields. The facts of this case are not in dispute. The hunting clubs are member-owned hunting clubs that own thousands of acres of private land in Clearfield County. Members use the properties to hunt, vacation, and enjoy nature. To ensure their members' privacy, the hunting club have posted their properties with no trespassing signs, have installed gates at all entrances to exclude non-members and intruders. However, the entry status empowers game wardens, like you just said, Clayton, they're like Judge Dredd. They can do what the hell they want with unfettered discretion to enter upon and roam private land without consent, warrants, or probable cause. In ruling against the two hunting clubs, the Commonwealth Court was bound by precedent set. I swear you talked about this before, Clay. In Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania versus Russo was a case in 2007. Maybe you didn't, but when Pennsylvania Supreme Court said possessions do not include private land. How in the hell can you construe that to not mean private land? That is unbelievable. They're Democrats. That's probably how.
Yes.
The Pitch, Pine, and Punxsutawney lawsuits now moves to appeal. The hunting clubs, represented by Institute for Justice, will seek to overturn the Russo decision and ask the Pennsylvania Supreme Court to address a pressing question. Does the state constitution protect citizens from warrantless search on private land? And the attorney here, this Wyndham, said, Russo was wrongly decided, and we're eager to show the Pennsylvania Supreme Court why. The open fields doctrine destroys the point of having private land, which I couldn't agree with them more on. It treats fences, gates, posted signs, and everything else you might do to keep your land private as irrelevant, which it does, right? With their decision.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, it gives the government unfettered power, like I said, to enter your land, roam around, spy on you, take photos, record videos, take soil samples, ride around on their bikes, trucks, horses, all without a warrant. And we're supposed to think that's constitutional? Question mark. Yeah, exactly.
Well, supposedly, right?
Presently, 6 states place state constitutional authority above the open fields doctrine. Mississippi, Montana, New York. What the hell are they doing in there?
That's
and Oregon. Yeah. Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. I mean, that must have been, before they got overrun with commies.
And I imagine a lot of that stuff, especially when you look at the Oregon and Washington, how much I bet that had a lot to do with the logging companies back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, you're probably 100% right. And Montana, for that matter, logging used to be huge. I mean, Marty Beard's cousin was big. I mean, he might still be logging. I don't know if they even allow it where he's at anymore. But so one final little note here, Clay. October 2nd release. Frank Stockdale, president of the Punxsutawney Hunting Club, summarizes a private land ownership case by saying the government has no right to spy on us on our own land without cause. The entire endeavor has been outrageous and needs to end now. I certainly hope it does, but like I said, the way Pennsylvania's going and the judges they appoint, and I don't know, they might be a lost cause.
It might be. It'd be one of them things. I'd like to see this eventually possibly get to the Supreme Court, one of these cases. But you got to have the right case that comes in, kind of like we waited for the Bruin case forever. Mm-hmm. And just like what's happening in Montana right now with the gun-free zone case. I've been watching that, and that's going to be a huge one when it finally makes it there, because I think it's going to be another precedent-setting case. Well, we need one on private property and open fields doctrine. Most states call it the open fields doctrine. And they call it that because it's never really been law.
Open fields. So
you want to see it? What's that? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say maybe you catch up on some of these comments we got.
Yeah, just one quick comment. When it comes to this open field stuff, guys, this is where it gets very important what kind of sheriff you elect in your county. Even though they have the quote right, it's just like don't get me started. It's like when they talk about water in the states and lakes and rivers. Mm-hmm. Well, who gave the state the right to make claim on it and make it public? It's not their water, but they declared it themselves, and that's a whole nother road we can go down. Yeah, let's get to some of these comments here. We got Dave, and he makes a good point here. Dave, 1760 Sports. Businesses and clubs don't have civil liberties. They aren't citizens. That's why we get regulated. There is a lot of truth to that, and government just takes the advantage to just go ahead and say, you know what, they're not protected under the Constitution. They're not individuals, and you see that a lot. Matt Simon, hey Matt, I'm glad Matt's listening. I feel obligated to defend my future fieldwork, Christian.
Man, I'd love that for you, Matt.
Good evening, guy. Hey, Craig, good to see you on here.
Evening, Craig.
I'm always looking forward to Wednesday evening now. Good, that's good. I want to see you on here every Wednesday. Yeah, be great.
Awesome.
And down there, and he's in God's country, I guess, kind of down there, but he knows what I'm talking about.
Good.
Good Lord, girlfriend, not field work. May even be better the first way, Matt Simon, guys. You gotta love it, right?
Oh,
Gene Cox. Remember, these are the people who elected Fetterman. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's
exactly.
Yeah, and they're
logging spotted owl tasting like chicken.
We'll have to ask Marty that one time what they
now. That's the ones I'm seeing. If they're not coming through, go ahead and put them up there or read them off, Jamie, because I know I've got some that seem like they're not coming through.
Yeah. Everyone you read, I seen there. So that's. I think Marty's cousin's name is Lynn out there. Actually, he's a big old mountain dude. So.
All right. Well, here.
Yeah, Matt, he's laughing at Gene there. He loves it too. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. It's spotted.
All right, guys. The overlay's working now, so I just turned it on. Hopefully, the comments will come up now. I don't know what's going on with the chat stuff. I actually got a hold of Restream. That's who we use. I got a hold of their support, and they don't seem to be able to have an answer for me either. But we will see what happens in the future. It always used to work great, but I don't know if there are too many people on their platform now. Couldn't tell you. Anyway.
We want to hit the first commercial break, Clayton, and come back, and then you can get your first number one up here.
Sounds good. And I want to say hi to everyone over on the Rumble channel. I just popped that up there. There's got people over there. So hey, thanks for listening
Rumble.
in, guys. We appreciate it. Yeah, let's go ahead. Why don't you hit that first commercial and we'll be right back.
Yeah, let me switch my thing here from
I could probably grab it.
Here we go. Got you. I got you.
Okay.
Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Absolutely. We want to thank Lauer Auto Repair, they're a sponsor of Guns and 701. Glad to be having you join us in the 2024 year. And hopefully we have a great year. As Trump said, we're going to make it great again, 2024.
Yeah.
Make it great. And Eric says, Craig ain't in God's country. He's in Iowa. Point taken. Point taken.
Oh, man. I mean, they're pretty conservative down there compared to most places.
You know what? I think Iowa's going to, getting off course here, but I think you're going to see a huge turn in Iowa's voting this year because they're hurting just as bad as we are. That's an ag state, and nothing coming out of the Biden administration has been good for us in farming and ranching. So, hey, numbers are looking good tonight. Everybody must be in between, so they're just tuning in. We're glad to have them in here. So here's what one of my little stories is, and this comes out of Lafayette, Louisiana. There's a place called Dave's Gun Shop, and it was owned by Jeremiah Micah Deere, 37 years old, and Sarah Elaine, maybe it's Elaine, I can't even tell you how to pronounce that, but Fogel, of 30 years of age. And basically what happened here is they got raided, okay? And this happened, the indictment came down August 13th, 2019. Compliance inspection was conducted by the ATF. Of course, they kind of ignored it and kept doing the same old thing, so they finally went and raided them. And I haven't been able to get a lot of details on this, but they were found guilty here in November. It was a 3-day trial. And then it didn't take long to come back with a guilty verdict on this on Thursday evening, November 30th. It's just, it's kind of hitting the news up in here now, I guess. But the reason I bring this up, and this come out of, I'm going to kind of give you the backstory that came from the ATF. Remember, ATF is the one who put this out. And essentially what they did was they claimed that they were selling Here's what they were actually charged with: conspiring to deal firearms without a license, making false statements in their records required to be kept by a licensed firearms dealer. That'd be the book. Everyone knows that's your log book. And making false statements in the records required to be kept by a licensed firearms dealer. Also failing to file sales reports in connection with their firearms business located in Lafayette. I mean, these guys, they took 619 firearms, what they confiscated from both the business and from the home. I did hop on their Facebook page. There hasn't been a lot of activity on it, of course, lately. But it looked like they were doing a lot of different things, normal stuff. Come bring your guns in for cleaning, or they were doing like gun shows. And here's what was happening. And from what I can tell, that all the stories kind of basically will say that, yeah, this is what happened as far as what they were doing going into auctions. Now, you know how an auction works. You can go to an auction, you can sell to whoever you want, right? You're not in the business. That means you're definitely not in the business of selling firearms, right? So It's like a private sale. So generally, it'd be up to the person. I've seen auctions who do it. They have an FFL, or they have a FFL on site where they'll transfer them into that FFL, and you do the 4473, do the background check, bada bing, right? Or I've got where they don't have to. And I suppose each state's maybe different with state law, but go ahead and sell them, and the person who buys them after they're paid for it, they take possession of it and they go home. Well, that's what these guys were doing, go around these auctions and buying stuff. Not illegal, but it is if you're an FFL dealer and you buy them for the purpose of reselling. And that's what they were doing. And they basically admitted to it. And I don't know if they're just stupid or if they really knew what they were doing, because they really didn't. They acted, when you see their statements in the actual court proceedings, they acted like they didn't really know what they were doing and that they didn't understand this was illegal. Sounded like people would bring stuff in. Now, if you bring stuff in, and David might even be able to, you can correct me on this, but depending on what you have done, I believe you have to log it into your book, but I don't know. It kind of depends on what you're doing. I think the owner can bring it in and then it can go, but if someone else picks it, there are a lot of different things on there, a lot of different rules, and if you're not familiar with them, you probably, if you have an FFL, you probably should be. And then there was lots of different things in their books that they were cited for. But I mean, are these guys guilty? I would say, in my opinion, after reading everything, probably. Now, were they knowingly guilty as far as did they know they were actually doing the crime? That's what's clouded to me. I can't tell. And of course, I wasn't sitting there, so I didn't get to hear any of the testimony. I just read what was out, being released publicly. But these guys went in and they took. So the reason I bring this one up, I want to point out when people are doing stupid stuff, whether it's stupid, criminal, or both, you got to do it right. If you're going to be in the business, this is what gives us a black eye. This kind of thing, because this is the one they're going to point to and go,
guaranteed.
Look what happened. These guys.
That's why we shut down 500% more than before, because Trump wasn't getting guys like this who were breaking it. I mean, that's the kind of stupid shit they'll say.
Absolutely. And then they turn around and they go, oh, see, these guys were going to gun shows and buying guns, which they were. And they then didn't log them in. They bought them as private people. I mean, there's that fine line there. But when you put them up and then they end up on your shelf in your gun store, there's probably going to be a problem if someone does a check on them. And you might get away with that once or twice, but you're not going to get away with it 246 times as they're charged.
Listen, I don't agree with that kind of stupid law that FFL's got to do that shit. I think that's ridiculous. But if it's a law and you're in the business, like Clay said, man, it sucks. Just like Clayton and I would like to do a lot of other shit on here that we can, or we'll get booted off. You got to, if that's the rules at that particular time, unfortunately, you got to play by them. And it doesn't sound like they were. So.
No, and they were warned. Like I said, on August 13th, they had a compliance inspection. They were cited saying, hey, you did this, and this.
They even gave them a chance, and they didn't then.
Then, again, they had a conference with them, and another basically kind of a compliance September 19th. And they were warned again for numerous violations, including failing to complete the background checks, which is the 4473, failing to accurately keep acquisition and disposition records 67 times. This was after they'd already been warned. Transferring firearms without having a final response from the NICS system. That's National Instant Criminal Background Check System. So what that means, guys, is they went ahead and transferred it. And I hate to say it, I've actually witnessed this happening at a private FFL dealer where they're like, hey, you're good for it. Just go ahead and take it and then I'll let you know when it's approved. You can't do that. If you get caught doing that, you're in trouble. Right or wrong, that's what the law is right now on it until we can, get it fixed. But so I mean, it is not like these guys didn't have chances. And then they had inaccurate completion of ATF 4473 forms. You're gonna love this. 111 times.
Oh my.
That's not a mistake at that point, okay?
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard for me to feel sorry for them.
Exactly. Trial evidence confirmed that on the same day that an ATF investigator provided acknowledgement of federal firearms regulations to inform Deere of their responsibilities as a holder and about the laws relating and engaging in the business of selling firearms at gun shows. So this all happened after it was on that day that he had told him all this. That's when he discovered it. I mean, they went forth and did it again.
I mean, he got lucky with the ATF letting him off the hook the first time there and saying, hey, dude, pretty much get your shit straight.
Yep. And this is what basically the judge in this basically told him that, hey, listen, you guys, after being warned, after seeing that you were willfully engaged in a business, you were cited, given a chance to correct it, and you did it again, yeah, he kind of said, nope,
Yeah.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, the detention hearing, let's see, what is it here? Let's see. I know they are found guilty. Oh, they haven't had that yet.
So yeah, like Clay said, they're gonna. Well, you watch if you hear something in the election cycle on some stupid commercial about crooked gun dealers, and they bring this up, and they'll act like all of them they shut down were just like this crew here,
yeah,
which
and
is
this
far
is
from
just,
the truth.
I think they kind of blatantly just said they either are dumb or give a big old.
I mean, it sounds like it.
Or they give a big old middle finger and said, "We're
Yeah.
not going to do this." And well, okay, you can do that. You can choose
Yeah.
not to do that, but you'll probably pay the consequences. And
Yeah.
also, what they also found out is that the proceeds from gun sales. So they must have pulled tax records. That it just didn't seem like what they were claiming on their tax returns versus inventory coming in. It's kind of, you can estimate that, hey, if you had a 40% or 20, whatever your markup is, you should be somewhere in this income bracket. Well, wasn't adding up. So that probably didn't help him at all either. Right now they're remanded to custody. Fogel's got to stay there without bond. The lady, she's basically out on it looks like she's going to be out on bond. Got to wear an ankle bracelet, some stuff like that.
Yeah.
If he's actually sentenced on all of, basically the big stuff, he's going to be sentenced of 5, not more than 5 years, because that's what the cap is. He could get the 5 years on count 1. Counts 1 and 2, not more than 1 year, 1 year, and count 3 could be $250,000 on each count. So if he's
they're gonna nail him.
I think he could see about $1 million.
Trouble.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to. I brought that one up. It's a little bit interesting. It's a little off of what we usually do, but I wanted to show you that
it's good stuff, man. I mean,
these are the guys, and that's why I brought. These are the guys that give everybody a bad name, like anything else. And I know they're either stupid or they knew exactly what they're doing and just said, "The hell with it, I'm not following the rule." I don't know, but regardless, it's a black eye on us.
Now that you're on it, Clay, I expect an update down the road. So
we'll have one. I'll be following it. Just like that. I ain't letting go of that Montana one. I'm going to follow that all the way through.
I'm curious what's going to happen there, but
so let's get to a few comments here.
Go ahead.
So
I'm going to get to one. Josie asked, "How many viewers do you get per show?" I watch only on Facebook, so I only see how many are watching on there. So the live stream, Josie, with all the outlets, it varies all the time, and I'm from probably 200 to 400 something. I mean, there's an outlier in there. Clay put that picture on there with my deer, and it said it had like 700, but I think people just clicked on the picture.
Yeah.
And then and it depends, like I said, and the downloads, like we were just looking at it actually before the show, the podcast. Steady increase there. That gets
about
anywhere from
just in December,
50 to 200 and something every week. So yeah.
Right now, currently, I'm showing 27 are watching from Facebook and YouTube right now here on the platform. Over on Rumble, we've got looks like 10.
Most people come back. Most people come and watch it later or get it on the podcast.
And on the website, we got 7 right now. So welcome to everybody there too. I didn't check that until just now.
Awesome.
And I finally was able to get a counter that shows what's coming in there, which is nice. So,
and I know we've asked Todd when we've been on there what it's like on Fridays, and he goes, we can't tell you what the live listener there's no way of doing that, but he said people who watch it on like the iHeart stream, he said they get great numbers when we're on there. So
yeah, and that's good. And if you like hearing it, man, let them know. That's the easiest way to make things happen, especially on a show like that. Make it happen. You got to call them and let them know. They can only do so much with what they gather. Like I said, you never know on live. We'll get a little better, and I'm going to work on that still. We didn't get it done before the end of the year. Just things didn't work out. But I do want to make it so that we can go live as far as having him on with me. And if it's Mike Deacons that's filling in, or maybe Jamie will fill in once in a while on Friday, and have everybody right there so that we can actually have it on here just like you're seeing it tonight. That's kind of the goal there. And then I'll be able to track that a little better. But I can tell you, when you see the downloads on our RSS upload feeds, Even the Mitchell in the Morning, it gets pretty good numbers just about every week. People go download it and listen it to later, which is great. So to answer your question, Josie, on the live stream on a night like tonight, you're probably going to see close between 40 and 50 people watching. It's probably going to be, and then by the way, there's actually places that are picking it up that I didn't even know about, and they can do that. They can grab it and broadcast it. And I have no way to track that. But and then on the podcast, you can see anywhere from 200 to 400, depending on the week and what people are up to, that download it across all of the podcast platforms, which includes iHeart, Apple, Spotify, all the big ones, and then all the little, I don't know, it goes to what, I don't know, 20, 30 some podcast platforms.
Basically any place you listen to podcasts, you're going to. I just got a text here from my buddy Darren. He listens to the show all the time too. And a friend of ours passed away, a real good friend of Darren, Shanahan Schneider. And he said the week before he died, he put he's got the G&The701 sticker. He threw it on the back of his rig there. So
awesome! Oh wow!
Thanks for pointing that out. And Blind Guy says YouTube says 16 is what he's seeing. So
okay. Good.
Yeah, most people, like I said, most people who watch don't watch us live. They watch the replays or catch it on the. And then a lot of people I know just, you guys should just be on K-Fire full time. I'm like, yeah, I wish it worked that way. But,
I'll be honest,
once a week. And
I was never, me and Jamie were never interested in doing a daily show. We don't have time to do it.
There's no way. Yeah, I would,
And I can tell you right now, to do it for an hour once a week, I'm like Jamie. I'd want to see a little coin for that. That would be a lot bigger dedication to what we're doing. Or if they went to a 2-hour show, I'd entertain that. I really would. But I'd want to be getting paid.
Like I said, I'm flying by the seat of my pants tonight. I didn't. So if it really sounds like I'm reading shit here when I do this, I am, because I do. The next story, I got a happy one in, and I didn't get the. But yeah, let's get to. Okay, so Craig, Lynette said she loves the Santa background.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Santa with his assault Christmas ornaments.
You got to keep them lions and shit away from his reindeer, man. The bears, they don't eat them.
Craig says, I know Iowa doesn't stand for idiots out walking around, but hey, we have big bucks around there. They're aiming.
Yeah. You guys are whitetail. That's whitetail king country there.
Well, maybe you need to invite me and Eric to come down and maybe get one of them big bucks. That sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah. I don't have any. You know what? I've never explored hunting Iowa. Maybe that's a new trip. I don't know.
There you go.
Gene says that I think it's more of an auctioneer. Getting back to the 4473 is if you pay the auction company for the gun, you need a 4473. And that could be, Gene. I know that a lot of auctioneers, they just sell them and away you go. So hard to say if I don't know what the real regs are on that. It never really bothered me much. So. My understanding, a gun show as a private buyer, if I buy a gun privately, I should not put it up for sale on my table. I've engaged in the dealership world. Yeah, Gene used to hold an FFL. So there you go. That's probably the answer. Yeah, if you buy it at a gun show, don't take it and put it on your table, because that's not probably going to be a little good. So that makes sense. Then if it's for yourself, just leave it.
I'm not sure I understand that, what Dave put there. Same day drop off and pick up, no overnight. Yes, I'm not. I must have missed something you said there, and he was.
Well, and I'm not seeing that one. So what that would be is, say I would bring it in for cleaning or repair or something. Yeah, he could take it in evidently same day, look it over, do his thing, and then you could grab it.
Oh, gotcha.
If it's there overnight, then evidently he's got to log it into his book.
Yep, gotcha.
And that actually makes sense for, I guess, to feds that, it's in your possession now, so they'll make you log it in. So, okay, that makes sense, I guess, as far as what's allowed. Don't make sense that you have to do it, but you know what I think of that kind of stuff. Okay, Eric says, I know a guy that was doing that, talking about selling, and the government came after him and threw all of his papers at the government man and told him to go get them out of here, off my property, slammed the door in their face. There you go. I imagine, I know who that was. I believe the guy lived around Lemon, if I remember right. Yeah. I bet that's who that was. Let's see. He did that because he knew he only had a month or so to live due to cancer, so he wanted to give the middle finger to the government. Hey, you got nothing to lose, do you?
Hey,
So it is who I knew. Hey, Brian. Brian joins us. Good
evening,
sir. Fellow MV.
He said he's going to be a little late. He's here. Appreciate it.
And Lynette says, we're watching on the big screen TV, YouTube, but then I have my own phone on Facebook. So, hey, they're watching twice. What's Corey say? He says, my screen on Facebook says 11. And yeah, so I can tell you guys. So now we've got Guns in the 701 Facebook page at 12. Rack's Adventure Team is 1. My own personal one is 1. And then Guns in the 701 YouTube is 15. So that gives you what numbers are, right? Oh, now that just dropped. So and it goes up and down, guys. I watch that thing jump 3 to 4 most of the evenings.
Well, Matt said his dog just chased a coyote out of the yard. Is still illegal shooting light? Yeah, you got a bow? You get yourself a bow there. Don't put a lighted knock on it, but
put a suppressor on it and call it a day. Get your gun.
Yeah.
I know where Matt's at. Did it go towards my relatives over there? They're to the east of you, Jeff and Sean. So he says, for the need of the bound book and the 44. There you go. That's what we were talking about. That's what Dave answered on that. So
yeah.
Eric has looked into it, talking about the hunting in Iowa now, but it's $400 for an out-of-state tag. So he said, the heck with it. I'll pay $400 for a big.
I was gonna say, if you get one of them big Iowa freaking 190 whitetails, that's
every state has their their extortion fee for hunting. They think they own all the game, so I guess if you want to do it, you got to do it. But I know there's some big deer. That in Kansas, and I got a place to go in Kansas.
Kansas has, and Ohio. Yeah, I mean they got huge.
So Gene says if you do a consignment, tell the owner they need to pass a background check. Should the owner want to take it back? I learned that the hard way. Okay, so there you go. You put it on consignment, they're gonna have to log it in because it's being sold in that store, which would make sense in that world. So, and so he followed up. Owner didn't pass the check, so could not get their gun back either. Oh boy!
Oh my god!
you know what? I don't understand that. Before I go on this, I can tell you right now, in all them years I did the NRA stuff, and I'd watch people come in and they'd fail the background. They'd fail the 4473. Oh, I thought it'd go through. So they knew it. And I can tell you right now, most people, not all, know they're not going to pass it. So we had it stated in our programs. We announced it all over the loudspeakers very clearly, every banquet, that if you can't pass the 4473 and you win a gun because you played one of the games, you will forfeit your prize. And I still had people get pissed over that. We didn't have it happen very often, but just about every one of them knew that it was going to happen.
I'm almost told them background checks don't work with a shit, Clay, by the left.
No, not at all. Not at all. We got to have complete and total.
Scott says, Jamie, remember the IRS handgun training accident we talked about with Mitch? Yeah. The IRS, the government aid, they were doing a joint training session with the FBI, and I can't remember what other alphabet agency, and the only ones, Clay, right? The special training they get, ended up shooting and killing one of the guys in training there, one of the IRS agents. Yeah. So even with their special training, I can't believe that.
Oh no, their special training didn't work.
Yeah, I was actually going to do the whole story on that deal, but I decided I was going to go with something a little lighter than that. So.
Craig
says, what do you got more comments here? Yeah.
Well, Lynette says, she goes, please give a shout out to our great dog, Axel Hondo. Went to run with his brothers last. And I've seen that. So, and I completely understand that. They had to say goodbye to their dog, like all of us who own dogs. We eventually crossed that bridge. And so, yes, Axe, go run in the free fields, the open fields, right? Run in the open fields.
Yep, run in the open fields, chasing the pheasants around.
There you go. Perfect. So Craig says, hey, come on down. I'll take you. You know what, Eric, now we have to go. Maybe we'll have to work on it. I want you to go along with. So we'll have to work on that. I would love to go down there. So
I was just telling
deer down in there.
I was telling you about Shanahan, who passed away here. Josie, I knew Shabby, great guy. Got to work on the same crew as him for a while at Falkirk. Shabby was a great guy and a gun guy. Absolutely. I knew Shabby. I knew Shabby through his cousin Ted, who was a classmate of mine. But he had a heart attack and right before Christmas, I think. And guy was like 50 years old, 51, and
we just had a guy that I graduated with. I wouldn't say him and I were best buddies or anything, but my age, he's 49 years old, and he just dropped over from a massive heart attack on, I believe it was Christmas Eve day. So It happens,
Hey.
guys. It's been a lot of that lately. I know you knew a guy there that worked in your office, or what his wife did, or he did.
Yeah, it was a
next door
bad
office.
month for a lot
Yeah.
of people here in December. I'm like, geez.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of that even in this area. So maybe maybe it's better. Maybe they were taken for a reason. But
Yeah.
Lori Hoff, she says all alphabet agencies need to be shut down. Boy, I tell you what, they need to be shut down, eliminated, or completely revamped, and
at the
cut
very least,
cut a bunch out.
neutered big time.
So Gene Cox says, he says, I figured out the more that they told me that they were squeaky clean and the background check was a waste of time, that they were going to get denied. There you go.
Man, don't worry about it. Just give me the gun. Don't worry about it. You're wasting your time.
Don't worry
right?
about it. You don't have to do that.
Ah,
And I can tell you, it's like anything else. And you and I have talked about this a lot. Background checks do what? Pretty much only infringe upon all of us that are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I've got an article that I'm not going to do it tonight. I thought about maybe saving it for Friday, and it has to do with illegals and how many have went through the background check system in the last month or two. It's astounding. And the thing is it's not stopping. I mean, yes, they're catching some of them, but they're not prosecuting any of them. Even by their own admission, the FBI is like, well, they ain't being prosecuted by the ATF and the Department of Justice.
Joe doesn't want his voters in jail, man. They can't vote from there.
The only guy that maybe I know of lately that got dinged on it finally was Hunter Biden, the president's son, but nothing's going to happen to him either. It's a felony. I mean, if you're a drug user and you answer no, you lied on the 4473, that's a felony.
Yeah. And then throw your handgun away in a dumpster at school.
Yeah, how about that? I'll tell you what, let's take our big break. Yep. Thank a couple more sponsors here, and then we'll come back.
Yep.
Oh,
you want to hit it, Clay?
Oh.
Yeah. We'll come back. I got a good story on grenade launchers on your AR-15.
Tell you what, this is our last one with you. We're just kind of like, oh, what the hell? We'll just do whatever we want.
Yes.
All right. Here it is.
All right, buddy.
Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Guns and the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right. I think we both made it back, guys. That break is kind of important.
Oh, you took off too?
I did too. So.
Love it.
I want to say tonight too, I'd like to get wrapped up, within an hour and 15, because I think we're going to try to run to town. I just got informed of that. I'll tell you about it later, Jamie. But anyway, that's where we're at. So quick announcement too. If you guys don't know what the SHOT Show is, that's National Shooting Sports Foundation. It's probably the largest trade show in America when it comes to hunting, shooting, and everything. And that is going to be taking place, if I remember right. Yeah, right here, January 23rd through the 26th in Las Vegas at the Venetian Expo and Caesars Forum. So just so you know, 2024 SHOT Show coming up. And you got to be a vendor. You got to basically have a reason to be there. And I definitely want to go to that sometime. So, and I know that I know enough FFL dealers that I probably could.
It actually moved up, Clay, to last year the number 8 trade show in all the United States.
Yeah, I've seen that on here too. That thing's huge, guys. And I just
Yeah, they
love
got to
the
go in
fact-
2 buildings in Vegas now. It's not even a 1 anymore. See you, Josie. Thanks, buddy. You keep your powder
thanks,
dry as
Josie.
well. Appreciate you.
You got to get going. Hey, we know how that happens.
Yeah.
Craig says next time I'm out visiting family, I'm going to have Grizz bring me over so I can meet you. Absolutely, Craig. I'd love to have you come over here. We'll take you out. I got a little range set up. We can bring some guns. We can shoot a little steel, or I can meet you at Eric's. I know he's got.
You're kind of undershooting it to say in a little range.
Wow. And it's going to get bigger. I've got it now to where I actually took my rangefinder out and I can go into one direction. I can hit the mile. I can put one out there at a mile. So I want to do that. Then I can practice even a little more. What I need is a little blue UN helmet out there. I think that's
you do.
I want a steel that looks like anyway.
So speaking of ranges and shooting, Clay.
Yes.
Considerable, which I didn't know this, considerable interest has shifted to and I know about these, and I know you do, and probably a lot of our listeners and viewers, to the 37 millimeter and 40 millimeter launchers.
Really?
Like under the AR, yeah. You see them in the movies and the military. Yeah. I mean, I knew you could get them, but I didn't know what you could really shoot out of the dang things. But this is the one I always knew about. One of the most popular is the underbarrel M203, which I knew the name of that, right?
Right.
Tight for mounting on a rail under your M16, so / AR-15. The underbarrel launchers are available in both 37 and 40 millimeter. They're also standalone models, which they got, you've seen the ones in the Vietnam movies, and the guys just kind of crack it open like a single shot and
pop one in there.
Yeah, they got whatever you call the remakes of them. What's the name I'm looking for? Replicas of those.
Okay. Reproductions.
Yeah, and the ones like the police. I think this is it right here. It's called the 38 millimeter Federal Laboratories, used by the police, and I think that's the one they use, right? Original GI and aftermarket 40 millimeter M79 grenade launchers occasionally are offered for sale, and Spike Tactical now offers an accurate replica of the M79, but it's in a unrestricted 37 millimeter, which you and I can just buy, which I'm going to get into shortly here. Most 37 millimeter launchers are primarily designed to launch flares, signal, smoke, and other non-lethal rounds. Like the 37 millimeter, the 40 millimeter can launch flares, smoke, but 37 and 40 launchers registered with ATF, the 40s. Yeah, the 40s you got to register with the ATF as destructive devices. That's why they say the 37 is unrestricted. So 3 more millimeters makes it the most deadly thing in the world.
Gotta register that.
It can also shoot buckshot, fletch, batons, rubber pellets, bean bags, other anti-personnel rounds. HE, of course, are unavailable to the general public. If available, each round would be considered a destructive device itself and require, Clay, the $200 tax stamp per round. If you had an HE. If HE was legal, that's what you'd have to pay on top of what it would cost. Then they also require, if it was you had one, a federal explosive permit and fall under strict shipping and storage guidelines, obviously. So in case you're wondering, the definition of a destructive device, which is found in 26 USC 584 apostrophe F, in parentheses, I don't know what the hell that means.
That's the U.S. title codes.
Yeah, the definition reads as follows: any explosive, incendiary, or poison gas, bomb, grenade, rocket having a propellant charge of more than 4 ounces, missile having an explosive charge of more than 1/4 ounce, a mine, or similar device. Okay. Right. So, great. And so in these, I think in both of these, you can get this thing called the Beehive round from DeGroat Tactical. This thing's pretty cool. I mean, I got a couple different rounds here I'm going to talk about, but it simultaneously fires, depending on which one you get here, 10 to 18 22 rimfire cartridges. It's usually, the cases are usually made of aluminum. It looks like an old pepper box. Remember those handguns?
Yep.
That's what this thing looks like to me. It reminds me of like a pepper box handgun. Yeah. Just like I said, it holds 10 to 18 rimfire cartridges, and the 22 cartridges they're all fired at the same time. It ain't like they're going to come out singly. So it's like an assault rifle, Clay.
It's like
Everything comes out. Yeah. They
crazy.
do that by having a steel disc, and they got like apparently all these firing pins are mounted on it, and you pull the trigger. This disc with the firing pins is ignited by a reloading, like your primer in a round, and that sends that thing forward, and that's what launches all these things out of there. So, and they got all kinds of this stuff here, like I was saying. And this one, the 40 millimeters, they did like the multiple shot. I was telling you, they do that actually with 410s. 410 rounds will go off on that 40 millimeter if you get the old ATF register and that for it. And then adapters are available for the 37 and the 40s. Apparently, this is a popular thing they do to launch surplus check 26.5 millimeter or 12 gauge flares or smoke projectiles. These, and apparently, like a lot of this Russian stuff, their powder's corrosive, so they gotta take care of that.
Like wolf ammunition.
yeah, like the wolf, like the wolf, and then you can reload for this stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you're ever thinking about buying one of these, since they said they're getting popular, I looked at launcher prices anywhere from $450 to $1,250 is what I seen. And man, if you want to buy loaded rounds, I would definitely recommend reloading this crap, because even if you get like these concussion rounds, 160 to 160 decibels, they say, yeah, they're like $27 a round, and they were sold out. So I'm imagining they're probably a lot more now that they sold out and Joe's in control. So
I'm sure.
I mean,
like
it'd be fun.
Takes that ammunition company that has all that cool stuff. That stuff's always sold out because I think people are buying the heck out of it.
Yeah. The blind guy shot some of that stuff at 280 years ago. It was. He shot it out of his double barrel, man. Whatever powder they use, it is like his gun like would barely break open again. He had to take it down and clean it. But
cleaned.
Yeah, if you got extra cash laying around and get yourself a launcher, I mean, some of that stuff, like I said, you get the Fletch and the 12 gauge rounds because they got all them adapters you can stick in there to neck it down to shoot. It's just like a cylinder bore, them launchers. So
yeah, they just not. So I've had the opportunity to shoot some of them, especially when it was at those class 3 shoots. And they basically all we're using was a powder thing where it launched it out and it smoked and then it hit and it was like blue powder. It was cool. It's simulated. I always love to have the live rounds, but even that guy didn't have any of them.
Yeah, it's got like the plastic. They had a thing, and I didn't want to get into it, but it when it hits and it marks, and they said fun. It like mimics the same weight as like a HE, so you know where you're.
So I mean, it was fun. Definitely another toy. I mean, come on, let's just face it. We never grow up. Our toys just get bigger, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
So Dave actually had a comment on that. He said Mandan requires a pyrotechnics permit to get the ordinances. Wow, to get around that.
What the hell?
Well, there's a lot of things happening in Mandan. You and I have to talk about that, and it has to do with FFL dealers and new applicant FFL dealers. It's a bunch of crap, guys. I keep telling everybody, just because we're in North and South Dakota, you are not safe from the commies. They're integrating themselves even in the Mandan and Bismarck. And you think of any small town or small city, they're there. They're there, and they don't give up. They never give up. You got to get active and be involved and push these people out of them offices.
It sucks. I get it. You got better shit to do, but guess what? They don't.
Nope.
And if you don't meet these people head on, they're going to take over. We're going to be like Fargo and Minneapolis and every other big
Bismarck's got a lot of things already going on. So Gene Cox says, I've got a launcher attachment for his SMLE. He says, good for tennis balls, originally designed to launch Mills bombs during World War I trench warfare. That would be fun. Now, see, Gene, the next time I'm over there, guess what we got to go do? We got to go out to the little range that was built out there. So, because I guess an RPG is out too.
I seen some YouTuber there, one of the popular gun guys. He launched one and it blew up and damn near killed himself with it. So
it'll happen.
Yeah.
I just had an email come in. So, I ordered another, I had another delivery coming from another place from where you got your upper.
PSA.
It says a carrier has experienced a short delivery exception because of weather. Well, I could have told them that there's a sheet of glare ice out there today. So
man, I'll tell you
that
what,
was something.
speaking of that, we come back and we got just west of Fargo a ways, that ice on them trees. It was just piled up like somebody had taken a chainsaw to these trees. And I mean, just
done
all
it.
the trees. It was just piled up around from the weight of that ice. It just snapped them. And, you know, the junipers and that were just filleted open.
Really?
And it sucked. I mean, that ice is just, that's the worst shit you can get.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, thanks for listening. He says he's evening just got home in time for Christmas at my house. So, hey, appreciate you tuning in,
Thanks,
DJ.
Doug.
We are going to be down there for Stock Show. You and I will visit a little bit, but we'll be down there for that second weekend. So it's February 1st through the 4th. Looking forward to seeing you again down there. So, all right, yeah, let's take our last break, and then we'll come back and do some Patriots and happy
Hey,
endings.
you're doing a Patriot? That's right, Patriot Company. All right, let's do it.
I suppose I better bring it up, though, right?
Yeah, I can.
I got it.
Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right. Again, thanks to Lauer Auto Repair down there. And I tell you what, I know that he's been a great sponsor all year, and we're glad to have him on board going into next year in 2024. 701, guys, 258-6308. And I can tell you right now, he'll do you right. And he's a Patriot company. He's a Patriot company all year long.
You know your money's going to somebody who believes in your rights and defends the hell out of them. So
absolutely,
I like that. Matt Simon. Big Faye was shot by a 22 pepper box, 5 shots, but she dressed out at 290, so none of the bullets found the vitals. See, now longtime listeners, that's some Rooster Cogburn, but Clay, longtime listeners will know that we did the 22 ammo thing right, and they actually they penetrated pretty damn good. We did, I think we used 22 Plinksters gel test, right? Them things were going in like 20 inches, right?
They did really well, actually, more than I thought they'd do. So absolutely, yeah.
I want to find some of those and use them. I mean, I'd love to test those because our sponsor there, the Pro Second Amendment for sure gun shop in the Bismarck Mandan area, has got the gel. So
well, yeah. Hey, and Matt, you and I got to visit too. Now that Jamie's going to be gone and leaving us, unfortunately. Again, I'm going to have a lot of guys come in here and help co-host, but I'd love to have you on as a guest or a guest co-host because I think
that'd be a lot of fun.
You've got a lot of knowledge, and we're going to be doing a little more of that. So, absolutely, glad you tuned in tonight. So, are we ready now? Should we move on to what? Should we go on to the patriotic?
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's do the Clay's Patriot.
All right, we'll see if we get dinged for using the national anthem again.
Oh my God, yeah.
We played it the whole way through. No kidding, guys. I got dinged on that for a copyright infringement on YouTube. Of course, I protested
some
it.
orchestra, right?
Yeah, and they decided that I was okay because it was public domain. I was like, unbelievable. I think they're just watching us. So anyway, so the Patriot Company.
Case, man. Nothing public.
Ah.
That's everybody's now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Clay.
So the Patriot Company of the Week is actually not going to be one even local. It's an online one I found. I was looking for some other stuff, and I go to publicsquare.com when I look for stuff anymore, guys, and I really encourage you guys. To hell with Amazon. Yes, sometimes I get stuff there too. It's just one of them necessary evils. But when I can't avoid it, I do. And that's why if you go to publicsquare.com, you can go in there and find companies that actually are about what we do. And that's what I love about it. They actually tell you they support this, or they support conservative values or Christian values, whatever it may be. And a lot of them are very blunt, talking about how they don't believe in wokeness or inclusion and equality and all that crap that they keep pushing.
Good.
So go to that, play publicsquare.com. Well, I ran across one that I thought was kind of unique called Patriot Depot. And here's our stuff here. It's patriotdepot.com. Very easy to find. What I really enjoyed was what they say right here in there. This is their company statement. There's many conservative stores out there. What makes us different? Patriot Depot was established in 2007, making us one of the oldest conservative companies in America and one of the largest online retailers for conservatives and Republicans. Since 2007, we've been serving this country by providing conservative consumers with high-quality products. Our company believes that conservative values and conservatives as a whole are under attack in America by the globalist regime. We believe that if more conservative companies don't start speaking out, it's only a matter of time before liberals and Democrats run this country into the ground. We believe in individual rights and freedoms, and unfortunately, Republicans and conservatives are the only people really willing to fight for these values nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
We know that many of our customers feel the same, and we want to support brands that align with our conservative values. That's why we started Patriot Depot, the one-stop shop for conservatives and Republicans alike who want to spend their hard-earned money supporting American brands and companies and not destroying them. Every product on our store has been thoroughly vetted to be of the highest quality possible so that you can rest assured that with every purchase, not only are you getting what you pay for, but you're supporting hardworking American stores and brands in the process. Amen. Right?
Yeah, I'm checking it out right now. They got a lot of good stuff on here.
A lot of great stuff. And I actually had the pleasure. I called there today. You know how I am. I ain't afraid to call places, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't get to talk to the owner necessarily, but it was somebody who kind of, I think, handles their probably their public relations, and asked them some pretty hard questions. And I can tell you, this company's solid, man. They give to organizations that are with us.
I'm actually going to bookmark that right now, to be honest with you.
I mean, they literally, they just can't wait to support anything that's America. And I mean, they are America type first people. And let's see if I can bring this. So there you go, right there, guys. There it is. And you can see they've got a ton of stuff, caps, books. I mean, they got a whole bunch of stuff right here. What I love is they got a whole thing of T-shirts that have to do with the Second Amendment. Right here, Trump gear, Second Amendment gear.
I don't think any of their decals are as cool as ours, but they're still pretty sweet.
That's right. They're still sweet. Until we start making them, you can get those other ones there. Otherwise, the G&The701.com/store. But you can see their headings there. You know, they got apparel, and they got shirts by topics. So, you know, you can see them here. You got conservative tees, anti-Democrat tees. I mean, you got to love that. They have a whole thing about anti-Democrats.
I love it.
I mean, I love this one probably. It's called America's Not a Democracy.
Oh, my God. That's perfect. Know the difference, baby.
Absolutely. I think we're going to come up with our own design for that.
One of the most fingernails on the chalkboard thing I can hear is when they say we are democracy.
Oh, doesn't that just... Oh, yeah, I know. It just
real quickly, I seen it looks like we got, I've never seen this person before, but Mike STGL. He says legal gun owners in Illinois will become felons first of the year for not registering, quote, assault rifles and magazines over 10 rounds.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. That's exactly what's going to happen out there. The court case, of course, did not get the injunction that we were looking for. I can tell you it's being appealed. It's going to work its way through the process. So, unfortunately, of course, I wouldn't live in Illinois because of the communist regime and their rules and things that they pass there. But those patriots that stay there and fight the front lines, because that's what you're doing. I'm telling you right now. Resist, do not comply. In fact, that place I just showed, they got a t-shirt that says do not comply. And that means, and just wait it out, because just as when the bump stock went into effect, nobody turned any in really. The number was even 1%. I don't think it was even 1%.
Yeah, even in like Connecticut, it was,
And I'm
was
sure everybody
pathetically low.
out and destroyed them, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And,
well, I mean, Clay, we've said this before. That's their plan. To this point, they don't have the balls in any state yet to go door to door. But hey, you know what? Let's just make it illegal. We'll catch some guy out, some big criminal out shooting a deer or shooting target practice with his AR, and then we're going to arrest his ass for owning an assault rifle that ain't registered. I mean, because I'm sure the gangbangers give a shit.
they're complying, aren't they?
Yeah. Or some yeah.
But when you get to that Illinois case, I know it's going to be appealed, and as it works its way through, it'll eventually get to the higher courts, where then it's either going to be upheld or it's going to be thrown back down and say, hey, listen, because of Bruin, you guys got to relook at the historical use. And there's another one brewing, guys, right now out in Maryland.
Another brewing or another one brewing like
another one brewing like a pot of coffee. But this judge is insane, and I'm going to actually cover it next week. I didn't want to go into it I'm going to go in pretty in depth on it next week. And what this judge said he's trying to actually now make it sound like having an assault weapons ban is a historical use and is historically relevant. And the things the guy says, he's asinine. Like I said, I'm going to go over that next week for sure on Wednesday. So be tuned in Wednesday, because I'm going to give you guys the nuts and bolts of that, because I'm telling you, this is what's happening.
I'm going to tune into your first show then.
What's that?
I'm going to have to tune into your first show.
Tune in. So
that's good. Waylon, I like that.
Seen your comment here. My wife could probably do your decals. Yeah, probably. And we can talk about that. I actually want some of the old school logo. I'm probably going to, the one we got now.
There's some of the wife's work right there.
And we'll have her do those. And the other one we got on the wall, I'll still use Rich, because he does, Rick does a great job there at Signs and Wonders as well. I want to keep all our Patriot companies getting a little business from us. So but yeah, let's talk, Waylon. And we're about out of, honestly, of the retro ones, we called them. So but anyway, that is my patriotic company of the week. And I thought if nothing else, we can steer people to any patriotic company.
Yep.
If you guys have a suggestion, send it to me. I would love to hear the local ones that are out there too.
Thanks for the comment, Mike. Appreciate you tuning in. If you tuned in before and we didn't catch you, apologize for that. But thank you for commenting. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. French and Russian revolutionists were all about democracy, mob rule, and that's exactly what it is. Mob rule, historical democide, followed in both instances. That's right. Democide, I like that.
Democide, I like that.
So thanks, Matt, for making that comment.
Yeah.
Tumblers. Tumblers, Waylon, you're right. And we talked about that at one time, me and Jamie. We'll see. I don't know if we're ready to go there yet.
So I want to see real quick, my thing on, man. All right. I mean, all right. People always say they want this and they want that, and you get this and you get that. God, you guys should do this. You guys should do it. Mm-hmm. We did, and man, the people who did buy stuff from us, you guys are freaking awesome. Not only that, wearing it and sporting it and pimping the brand, that's freaking awesome. But most people who want something, they don't buy it. They got a good suggestion for you, what would be great, and then you do it. And Clay and Danelle can do custom stuff. Not happen. I remember Scott Bachmeyer told me that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey man, he goes, I would do some more swag, but he goes, I do it, and then nobody will buy it, and then if you don't, then everybody wants it for nothing. And then Paul Markle, student of the gun, he says the same thing.
Yeah, that's a bigger show than ours.
And Clay and I aren't. Yeah, we're not either one of them. So, but
and I can tell you right now, when you go to an online place and you can find it cheaper, that's true. It's usually a cheaper shirt, probably a crappy thin one, but they do things in big bulk purchases. We don't. we couldn't afford to keep that kind of overhead. So when you've seen the prices on our website, we're making a little. We got to cover some of that cost, but
man,
even a
cap for $30, Clay. That's not that out of hand, especially the freaking pimped out one at that nice.
And right now, if you haven't looked at the site, we got free shipping on everything for Christmas. I had that on there, and I'm gonna run it all the way into January. We'll extend it about the middle of January. So if you want something, now's the time to get it. I basically figured we could do it and still make a few dollars and put it in the bank for supporting the show. And that's why we were selling it. Support the show along with the sponsors. So hey, Josh Patterson, he sends in, he goes, and we appreciate it, and we know that. I sport my hat from time to time, usually wear it to trigger liberal, and we love that.
Yeah, perfect.
And Josh, before we go to your happy ending, I believe it was Josh.
Oh yeah, there you go. I forgot to get the pictures up last week. You bet.
These were of his son with his bow. Check that out. It's not the biggest one, but I'll tell you what, that was his first one, and you got to love it when a kid's out there and he's taking a buck and having a good time with his bow. So congratulations to your son, because that was outstanding. And I'm glad you sent those in. Thanks, Josh.
Let's hit a few more of these comments here, Clay. Did you see this? We got okay. Gene says in the movie Unforgiven, Two Gun Pete didn't get his name because he carried two guns.
There you go.
Corey Merriman, you get us guys from South Dakota on there, you're gonna have to add 605 to the name. That's all about Clay right there. See, I'm out on that decision.
Guns in Dakota Territory? I don't know. I'm not changing the name. For one, that's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, Gene Cox. Well, if you do everything the customer wants, you won't be in business long. Yeah. 100%. 100%. They, like I said, man, everybody's got something they want, but if you do that, and then what you end up with is a big pile of stuff you paid for that.
Right. And we actually changed our format a little bit and went to what we call a DT. I don't know. She knows what it is, which the logo actually stays in there better. So that, we improved that.
By the way, I got a lot of compliments on that, your logo on a hoodie. So.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
We like that in Minnesota.
Evidently made Jamie a nice one. I thought it turned out pretty good. And I think we got it perfect on there. So that was great. Yeah. You know what? We only had the order come in November, and I got it to him in December. So
yeah, it was a good Christmas present.
By the way, Jamie, got the printer fixed so we can go full color again. So we're ready to start printing again if we do some stuff. But I can tell you right now, I'm going to add about 2 or 3 more designs to the website for T-shirts that I think people will enjoy, and they're meant to trigger liberals. They truly are. But we're not going to make them. We're going to do them as they.
That's worth another $5 right there.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Dave. Yeah, I should mention it. 20 tickets left for the raffle, guys. That's on our Farm Bureau raffle. That's that Noreen AR-10 30-06. We did not give it away last week because we had more tickets come in from people that did not sell some. And guys, everyone out there who sold, thank you. You did your job. You did a great job, and I can't thank you enough. But it was some people that didn't sell a single one of the ones I gave them, and that's the way it goes. That Gene was one of my sellers in Mobridge. So again, thanks, Gene, Dave. You guys did great, and I can tell you right now, I actually was able to sell about another 30. So if we finish these last ones up, it was definitely worth it. We'll be close to an extra 100 tickets sold, and then that's about all of them. And there's just a handful left. So very happy with that. And then we'll give it away. So just so everybody knows that we will be drawing this coming week yet.
All right, I'm gonna do the happy ending here, Clay. We're gonna come back, hit some more comments up, and talk a little bit.
Gene says, "How about a G&The701 hedge trimmer?" I'll sell you a decal. Slap it on there. There you go.
Manscaper, baby. All right. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, happy ending story. Clay said to keep that part of the show too, which is great. I do like that, and this is a short and a sweet one, Clay. And for the guy we were talking about, Chicago, guess where the happy ending's coming from?
Chicago,
Chi-Town, baby.
It's easy to get them out of there.
It's a short one, but oh so sweet. It's oh so sweet, Clay. I'll tell you what, I got 2 of them here, man. I might take this one from Nevada. I'm going to go with the Chicago one. All right, we're going to go with the Chicago one. So We got 26-year-old man at his home in Chicago, September 5th. Oh, yeah, JD, you got to pick one from way back in September. No, I can pick one at all. I just pull this out any month.
Yeah.
But, on September 5th, when a person entered the house without permission, the armed citizen fired at the intruder, struck him twice in the chest. Nice grouping, nice grouping. You got him twice, right where he wanted to. This, of course, then the guy takes off running, right? The guy who broke into his house, Clay, takes off running. But he was quickly located nearby and taken to a hospital. You know why they found him so easy and so fast?
Was he bleeding out?
Yeah, he was dead. The happy ending of the story. He was dead. He broke into a house. He got hit twice in the chest. Didn't make it far. They took him.
Oh, you guys are sick. You're celebrating death.
And neighbors around the home said, guess what? The guy was in there, had a family. Children lived there. He didn't want anybody to know his name and what happened. And, guy was, as he should be, not charged with anything. Somebody breaks into your house and you don't know what they're doing, and you got, especially when you got your kids in there, your wife or something, man. It's Guess what? The guy got what he deserved. It's a happy ending story of the week, and I made sure it was a real happy one for my last one.
Well, we might have to have you come back and do a cameo one.
Yeah, oh, for sure. We might. I got some ideas for some happy ending video story there.
And I gotta explain that to everybody, guys. Jamie is not mad. We're not fighting. In fact, we still talk probably just as much as we always did. But so he's still gonna be around once in a while.
Yeah, you'll see me in the comments section. I'll promise.
There you go. And hey, Craig, he says I'm gonna get some of them T-shirts. Hey, sounds good. If you want to wait for the new designs, I'm gonna be launching them next month here in about a week or two. I'll get them on there. But you can go to gunsandthe701.com/store. If you hit that, just the main website, the store logo, the thing's right there. We made it really, really easy to shop online there. So,
yeah. So other than that, Clay, if you guys got anything else to hit on, well, we can hit on it quick. But don't forget Friday. I mean, if you're like, God, I'm glad this guy's gone. I got bad news for you. Friday, I'm going to be on with Clay on.
I don't think anyone thinks that.
Friday morning, 8:15 a.m. Central, 7:15 a.m. Mountain. Clay and I are Guns in the 701. We're on there from. I mean, it is like 45 minutes, but in reality, with all the commercials, it's probably Clay, 20 minutes, but
about 20 to 26 minutes is what it comes out to when I edit out everything.
Yeah, but we got some good subject. Actually, Todd's not going to be there. Todd's actually still with his mom, I think, down in Minneapolis. We're going to be on there with Iron Mike, but
so it kind of depends on if Mike. Jesse keeps his boy. He's right on the schedule. Todd lets it fluctuate.
Jesse drops the guillotine when he's like, it's over, boys. It's commercial break time. So.
Like I said, 8:15 Central, 7:15 Mountain, 5:50 a.m. Of course, you can catch everything on iHeart and any other podcast that you guys get. We're on just about every single one out there. It's pretty easy to find. Of course, check out the website. I almost did. You know what? I've been retired for how long? I still almost say Friends of NRA. I'm so used to saying it. But anyway, gunsandthe701.com. Check us out over there. We've got everything, all the info. It's all there, guys. So,
and if you don't like AM, you can catch it on 99.7 FM. And like Clay said, hey, if you don't like either one, go on iHeartRadio and listen to it anywhere you want. And if you can't get it on there and you're like, it's Saturday, you're like, damn, I missed Guns in the 701 on K-Fire. Good news for you. You can catch a podcast of that on iHeart too. Or if you're by your computer, right, Clay, by your computer, go ahead and just watch the video replay of it. Clay cuts all the commercials out and because the commercials when we're on there don't pay us anything. So,
I cut them out.
Yeah. You don't need to take an axe. You need to take a scalpel. Remember Obama said that?
Yes.
So Iron Mike Tyson, not Iron Mike Wagner.
Yeah.
Hey, Dougie, happy trails. Appreciate that, man. I hope you enjoyed them B-Love Pounders that I swung by with, and we'll be seeing a lot of each other for sure. Oh, great. He looked perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Love it.
Hopefully, maybe this January I can get up there, and if it's nice days, we can go hit the range and do a little shoot.
I'm hoping you get some snow down there. We need to make some red mist and the prairie down there.
Yeah, and I've told Eric about that too. So that's going to happen. But right now we have none here. But you know what? They might have got some down that country, but I don't know if it's still there.
So playing off that just for a second, Clay. You wouldn't believe how many people think prairie dogs hibernate.
I know, and they don't, do they?
No, they
They're
do
a
not.
semi-hibernator at best.
It can
If that's even a
be
term.
5 below zero, and if the sun's out and there's no wind, prairie dogs will be out on their burrows, loving up the sun.
Oh yeah, middle of winter. If it's nice out, sun shining. Hey,
How do you
Josh
know that,
says
JD? Because I've done it before. I've shot them before. It was great.
I have two. JD, Josh says we're gonna miss you, JD, but hope you enjoy your time off. So
Thanks,
absolutely.
Josh. Hey, man, it was a pleasure meeting you, and appreciate you more than I can say of being a great follower and supporter of the program. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So, well, with that, I don't know if anybody's got anything else. I'm just going to close with this again. Jamie, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to miss you on there. I ain't going to lie about that. This was fun. This has been something that was never on mine or your bucket list. And just kind of started with a phone call, you coming in and helping me when we was over there filling in. So, I don't know. It turned in. It's still going. And I know you'll be on here once in a great while. I know you will. Sure. Maybe especially during right before hunting seasons. You know how that goes. Need that insight. So.
Yeah, for sure. If something big comes up and you want to hear my loud mouth, you can get me on anytime you want. So
like that. Who knows? Maybe I'll need a break and hey man, can you just fill in this week? I've had enough.
Yeah, like I told you, I'm in for that. Like I said, I got all this equipment. It's gonna be here, so it's not doing nothing. Hey, Josh, don't worry. When the prairie dog shoots back on, we'll be down there. Dave, don't forget, man. I want some more than I told you. I want 2 bags of them 64 grainers.
I reserved mine. I got to get up there. I want those.
Whalen said he doesn't think they're out all year round. Prairie dogs.
Ours are. I've seen them.
Man, I've shot them all year round.
In fact, I've seen some just the other day when I went south down here by a town. They were out there.
Actually, so if you go west on 94, right before you get to New Salem, there's like an old homestead on the south side of the interstate. I mean, there's snow everywhere, and they're popped out. Me and the blind guy always talk about it. Like, man, what if this guy let us go in there at the 22s or something? Just because they're big fatties, man. They don't look scared of anything. And seeing a big fat prairie dog on his burrow, some people don't get it, but man, I look at that, and that's just like looking at a perfectly grilled steak and a beer and some potatoes next to it, a baked potato, and I'm like, how can you resist?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I gotta remind everybody too. Check out the Rumble channel. That's got a lot of content on it too now. Guns in the 701. Just search it; it should come up. But we also have a Telegram. If you're on Telegram, please look up Guns in the 701. We have one on there. So we're, and of course we've got Getter, we've got True Social. There's not a lot of activity on those because there's just not enough people.
Yeah.
On those platforms for it. So we are everywhere, but go and check them out.
Man, I've seen X. They're going to start letting you do comments and stuff on there, Clay. So I don't know.
What's that?
X is going to start allowing comments. I seen that on Restream.
And hopefully they do.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Whalen. Great show, guys. JD going to miss you. Clay can handle it. Absolutely, Whalen.
I hope so.
Yeah, and Dave's got them. I'm sure. Yeah, Dave, just save me 2 bags. We'll be in contact. I'll get over there and I'll get them from you at some point when you're in town, or if you're in Bismarck, give me a holler and swing by the lab. And
so next week we're gonna kind of do it's gonna be the Guns in the 701 with a little twist. It's gonna have a little relaunch.
Yeah, what's the new deal gonna be about? I heard about this new 701 show. I want to check it out.
Yeah, well. One thing we're going to feature, I know that, my buddy Mike Deacons is going to be on first as a guest co-host, and I think he's going to be on there quite a bit because he's got the equipment, can do advanced.
He's a radio background guy, though, right? I mean, he's in the industry. He knows what's up.
Very familiar, and I think he's already messed around here and learning the Restream platform. So kudos. That's going to be a big thing, really, because it'll be helpful on my end as well. To have him be able to do that, just in case, like you, I know we taught you, but it was kind of self-taught. But you done it, you got her figured out. So
it's you're knuckle dragging a uneducated right wing gunman can figure some things out.
Another one, Corey Merriman, who listens to the show, he's going to try to join in once in a while. Like I said, Vance Bishop out of Georgia, Andy Elliott from Blade Rain said he'd be more than happy to come on.
Everybody knows Andy, man. He's a charismatic dude. I love Andy.
He does a great job.
Always in a good mood.
But we're gonna have I got about 5 people that are willing to do it, and like I said, I mentioned it. I didn't get a chance to talk to Matthew.
don't feel like you can't do it yourself, man. I know you.
Oh, I'll do it a few times myself too. It's just honestly, it's for fun to see if we can't get something new in there.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like the idea about doing that. I know next week, I think we're going to have it ready. Me and Mike are going to do something. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, though, Jamie. But one of the things is we're going to go over bug out bags. And I know everyone's got their idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think the farce and blade is a must. It serves a purpose. They're sharp as hell. They got the parachute cord on it, and you can use that. And that'd be, it's lightweight. It's got a case for it. Don't worry, guys. But it'd be one of them things that, hey, I think you could really use it, and it'd be a helpful thing to have, and it covers two things. I suppose your bug out bag, it has some Coors Light in it. But
absolutely.
so yeah, we're gonna be trying a few things too and having some fun with it. But happy ending is staying, guys. I'm telling you that's staying. And whether I do it or one of the other guys does it once in a while, or who knows, maybe I'll get Jamie maybe he can record one and do it once in a while. So
yeah,
come in,
for sure.
I gotta get your voiceover though for when we do the changes for Lauer Auto Repair for the next,
say when.
So
we got I'll see a few more. Eric, he said my G&The701 hat has more dirt and grime on it than the ground. You know what? A guy I work with, speaking of guys who represent, my buddy Casey, he can't listen all the time, or something's tying him up because he's a busy dude. But the guy constantly wore his G&The701 hat, and he wore it out. I'm like, "Where's your hat?" And he's like, "Man, I wore it out, the gray one, with the black." And he did. It was so dirty because he wore it. And I said, "I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna Merry Christmas. I'm gonna just give you one.
Perfect.
Because you represent so freaking all the time, dude. I appreciate that." And he was down with his cousin there. I put that on the Facebook page. There was his nephew there. Shooting down in Arizona. He went down there he's down there right now, actually. Shooting the 6.5 Creed, and they took him out, and guess what he had on, Clay? You saw he had
I saw that.
He said that's his favorite cap, man. He wears that thing with pride down there. I love it. And they took him out, and he zeroed in his Creed, and Casey said he was banging the steel at 375 with it. So that's awesome. I love that. I love that, man.
I like this. Gene Cox says maybe get a liberal guest co-host like Andy Kaufman in wrestling. Get the viewership up.
Hannity and Cole. Hey, we can have Clayton and Joel. How's that? Matt Simon, JD, solid send off. Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in, buddy. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it. Matt says you're a solid dude too. So don't.
Matt's
but hey, guess what? Remember we had on Constitutional Chafee.
We did.
Man, bad news,
Naomi?
Matt. She got married, man.
Did she? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
When we had her on, she didn't know have anybody. What the heck?
Yeah. She ended up marrying her co-host, actually, on her podcast.
Well, good for her.
But Matt's got bigger and better. He's got his sights set on Noam. I mean, she's married now, but, she probably got some hot conservative friends, Matt. So, go down there and work some cattle with the Noams on the ranch and probably come back with a hell of a cowgirl.
There you go.
What's it, Eric? Guys don't wear hoodies. I wear hooded shirts. See?
Oh, you have to bare the chest.
My wife hates it. She's like, that is so unprofessional when you go on there with no t-shirt on your hoodie. I'm like, nobody freaking knows. Looks like I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, what the heck? This ain't
Jamie,
almost.
It looks like I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt. Sorry.
I damn near put a coat and tie on and my cowboy hat like Scott did just to send you off. And I was like, nah.
Oh, shit. Maybe you can welcome me back. We got a fellowship fist to count on, so I dressed up.
I don't think I could stand to wear that for an hour.
I might do that. I was actually going to, and I forgot because I'm not kidding you. I am tired. But I was going to just do the whole show with just the coyote fur on.
That would have been great.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it next time you get me on here. I'm going to do that.
And next week, we have a special guest coming on. Jamie joins us.
Don't stand up, JD. Yeah, it's like CNN. The guy didn't have any underwear on there. Oh.
Matt said he saw it. He says, I saw she got married. Good for her.
Yeah. Congratulations to Naomi and her husband. I apologize. I don't remember his name, but
I don't either.
Sounds like a good dude. Obviously, you married a Constitution. He's a constitutional lawyer, and she's a constitutional gal.
Studying
and a good one. Yeah, she's going into because we played the Lawyer Guns and Money sign when she had her.
It was interesting when we had her on because she's like she's about I could have a daughter her age, honestly.
Yeah, she's early 20s.
But you could tell that even though she's a Christian and a constitutionalist, she still was using the wrong terminologies that the liberals use for things. And that's how ingrained this is. And we can go down that rabbit hole all day. I know that she'll learn as she moves on and gets away from the public education system.
To be honest with you, when I was younger, even I still remember I was telling somebody the story, and I shot my first AR-15. I met a guy at the Bismarck gun range. My wife and I were down there. I think it was 2004 actually. I had a brand new Tika bolt action 223, and I had my spotting scope, and we were zeroing it in, and this young guy was over there shooting, and I'm like, check out this dude's assault rifle. That's pretty sweet, And then he's like, hey man, can I use your spotting scope? I'm zeroing this. Sure. Then I let him use it and started talking to him, and turns out he'd just come back from a couple tours in Iraq, and
awesome.
And he's like, you want to shoot my AR? And I'm like, yeah, never shot one before. And he's like, oh man, you're gonna want one. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. And I shot it, and I'm like, shit.
You were hooked, weren't you?
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was, I knew what the Second Amendment was about, but I mean, doing that and owning AR-15s actually made me realize even more what the Second Amendment was all about. Because I learned as I went along too, man. I used to, in the mid-90s, I voted, Conrad and Dorgan, they're good for North Dakota, because I didn't pay that much attention to it, And I mean, I was taught, I knew what the Second Amendment shall not be infringed, but I just wasn't, I wasn't a huge advocate for it. When I liked the NRA, and when I remember being a kid and these anti-gun commercials, like these after school, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, kid's going to find a gun, and now it's a freaking gun's fault. I mean, I was in like 6th grade, and I was like, not this shit.
And that stuff was everywhere.
I had a 22. I had my 22 lever action in my gun rack I made in shop class and my shotgun on there, the pump, and I had a revolver 22. But like I said, I mean, people, the older you get, the more you get into stuff, and you appreciate things, and you appreciate your freedoms. I'm just glad, even though some of the terminology, it wasn't what I would have said, but I kept reminding myself, man, she's in her early 20s, and she's definitely on the right path, and she's far ahead of where I was at her age for being.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't question where she stands on things. She'll learn. She'll learn. It's kind of, we've been around a while, and
okay. Well, I don't say you married Wade from Sons of Liberty.
What's that?
Okay. Did she married? His name's Wade, I guess, from Sons of Liberty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, they got a meeting coming up too here in at the 15th, so I might try to make it up for that one. That's the only chapter close to me, so I'd like to go. But no, it's definitely been a fun ride though, Jamie. Definitely has been.
Yes, sir.
True patriot. I don't think anyone doubts that. I hope.
Some people might, but that's their mistake.
It's definitely their mistake. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's been great. Like I said, I couldn't be more proud of being one of the founding fathers of this with you, Clayton, and I couldn't have done it without you either. There's no way I could have pulled some of this stuff off without you. Clay undersells himself on being a tech dude, but Clay's a smart guy, and he knows where the bear shits in the woods on a lot of things that he acts like he really doesn't, but he does. So I have no doubt you're going to kick ass with this, Clay. And like I said, anytime you want me back as a guest or fill in for you, I'm be my pleasure.
Well, appreciate that. Yeah, it was a learning curve. There's no doubt about it. I learned things I never wanted to know, but hey, I guess you can learn something at almost 50 still.
Yeah. Knowledge is power, man, and you got a lot of it.
And don't worry, guys. Jamie figured this out too. I remember the first time we kind of walked you through the restream thing, and he could run this too. So it was nice that we were able to.
Yes, sir.
We were a good team, and we still are. I'm going to miss you on here. I really am. It's kind of sucks, but I get it. I do
miss you too, buddy. I know.
We still talk. I have no doubt. I mean, that's not a big deal. We're only. I know when I'm in town, I'll probably bug you. I finally got the speakers out of your garage, so that was
yeah, you did.
Got them in my Quonset now. So.
Yeah. So real quick before we head out, we got a couple more comments. Our buddy Brian Warner, fellow MV, really begin to appreciate like-minded people as you get older. That is true, Brian. That is 100% true. Gene Cox, back in the 80s, we had guns, heavy metal music, AIDS, and the Cold War. How did we survive?
And no helmets and no seat belts.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah, Whalen Turns. What about Gene Cox? What about the lead paint? Yeah, no shit, right? I didn't even know what the hell lead paint was. It was just paint, right?
It was just paint, yeah.
And then I was like, what if somebody eats lead paint? And I'm like, who the hell eats freaking paint?
I don't know. Maybe they need to be eliminated.
Remember that? Because that was their big thing. Like people are
eating lead paint.
People are eating lead paint chips and getting poisoning. And I'm like, who the hell eats freaking lead paint?
I don't know. Let's
hey, it on paint chips. If you're that dumb and you think it's candy, go ahead and eat it. And
thin the herd. Thin the herd.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thin in the herd.
Oh, all right, man. Hey, everybody. We're gonna go out. Clay and I are signing off. Appreciate you guys supporting the show. Hang in there. Clay's gonna keep this thing rocking. I'll be around, occasionally and annoy the shit out of you guys too. So
that's good.
I'll be watching, pretty much every week. And if I don't, Clayton, you can be assured I'll be sharing the podcast and then live stream. And hey guys, I can tell you one thing before I go. Even if you don't watch an episode, get on whatever social media platform you're on that Guns and the 701's on and hit like. Even if you don't share it, you got to hit like. As I'm telling you, you got to do that to bust the damn algorithms because these bastards are working against us 100%. And just by hitting like, even if you don't watch it, you are going to bust the freaking algorithm. You have to do that.
Like it, follow it, and share it, things like that.
Yeah, sharing helps even more.
But my wife, she says babies chewing on cribs. Where that come from?
Okay. Yeah. Hey, appreciate you listening to know.
Absolutely.
My wife's not. She's upstairs with the girls watching probably some liberal thing.
Some stupid liberal show.
Thanks, babe. Appreciate it.
All right. Alrighty, man. Well, I think then we're probably going to sign off for episode 74 again. Thank you, my friend. Been a ride.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I know you'll be part of this. You'll always be part of this. It's just
you bet.
It's going to be. So until next time, guys, keep your powder dry. See you next week.